want to get in the car with you and your dad, and I don't care what age it is, with the "Are we there yet" feeling that you had as a young athlete, right? I mean, what were those rides like to Little League, to the early stages of the "Are we there yet" and your passion blossoming for baseball?
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for my dad because I was just all over him, like, hey man, like we gotta get to the field. Like I was so anxious, so excited to get there. I love hitting. It didn't matter where I was, home, at the ballpark. I always wanted to hit. It would just be some BP in the yard, pitched from my dad. After school, we'd just go in the front yard. He'd be sitting on a bucket, and I'd be hitting a wiffle ball, basically, just trying to launch, basically. He just let me be me. He didn't really push me to, try to hit like him, or he kind of just let me go and let me figure it out. Now that I'm pitching to my son, it's the same thing. I'm trying to let him just figure it out on his own. I'm not gonna push him to swing like me or anything, and that's how my dad was. He just let me be myself, and that helped me throughout my whole life. So,
as a freshman or ish, 5'1", 115, how did that evolve confidence-wise? When did you start to feel like, you know what, I may be able to play this in college?
I always thought I could play in college.
Okay.
Even at that. At
5'1", 115.
Yeah, I had a lot of confidence. That I hit a little growth spurt. End of my sophomore year, going into my junior year, I started traveling a little bit more. When you sit back home and, you're playing, high school ball or travel ball with kids around New Jersey, and you're reading about all this stuff, like, oh, this guy's in California, this guy's in Texas, it's, it kind of like, okay, where am I at in this?
The center fielder for the Tri-State Arsenal here in Jupiter is a young man by the name of Michael Trout. Michael is from Millville, New Jersey.
There's a lot of great athletes come out of Jersey, and I think sometimes they get overlooked because they're not playing year-round, unlike Florida, unlike California, Texas. And then once you go down there and finally, see everybody and, seeing myself with everybody across the country, like knowing that I can compete with everybody, it kind of gave me a boost of confidence. Once I got drafted and, going up through minor leagues, I played against a lot of these guys I played with down in Jupiter. It was cool to meet everybody, just to see everybody's journey. So,
from let's say 15 all the way to as we sit here now, where you're a man, you've accomplished so much, but you've also failed a ton. My dad lost 250 games in the big leagues. How have you evolved in coping with failure from your young days to now? Start with the young days.
Young days was a little bit harder because, when you're a kid, it's like you fail, you're like, man, what's going on? And once you learn the game and learn how to grow as a player, that was a key for me to be successful. To, not harp on my last at bat or harp on my last swing. Always push forward to know that, you can't take your last at bat into your next at bat. There's times when you're going through some, struggles where you're like in the hotel room trying to figure out your swing a little bit, but we're at the ballpark so much and we work on our swing so much. I think I found the balance where, like, when I leave the ballpark, I try to shut out, baseball. It's good for the mind. It's good for myself, and it is sometimes good to get your mind off baseball. Sometimes, I mean, obviously, yeah, you play this sport every single day. You're always at the ballpark. You're always working on your swing. If you turn the page right away, and don't have that little snowball effect, I think it'll make you a better player.